California State University Long Beach is a diverse, student-centered, globally engaged public university committed to providing high-quality undergraduate and graduate educational opportunities through superior teaching, research, creative activity, and service for the people of California and beyond. Cal State Long Beach envisions changing lives by preparing leaders for a changing world. Known nationally as The Beach, Cal State Long Beach is located within jogging distance of the Pacific Ocean. Its 322-acre campus is designed to encourage student involvement and success. 86 buildings house 85 baccalaureate degrees, 65 master's degrees, 4 doctoral degrees, and over 300 majors. This impressive physical infrastructure harmonizes the master-planned architecture with environmentally aesthetic landscaping and sculpture. Maintaining a student population of more than 37,000, Cal State Long Beach provides specialized instructional facilities to support the university's 8 colleges and the renowned University Library. The 8 colleges include Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Engineering, Business Administration, Liberal Arts, Education, Arts, Health and Human Services, and Continuing and Professional Education. The Carpenter Center Performing Arts Center and the Walter Pyramid provide outstanding venues for theatrical, musical, and athletic events on campus. Cultural and educational programs are the focus of the serene Earl Burns Miller Japanese Garden. Student activities and organizations are housed in the University Student Union, located in the center of campus. The Student Wellness and Recreation Center, a 127,000 square foot state-of-the-art recreational facility, is the hub for physical fitness, stress relief, and competitive exercise. Beyond the campus, Cal State Long Beach is a short driving distance to world-famous attractions. Disneyland, Universal Studios, Hollywood, and the metropolitan city of Los Angeles are all within reach. Approximately 3,000 international students from over 100 countries attend Cal State Long Beach while pursuing graduate and undergraduate degrees, language programs, and exchange studies. As one of the most diverse campuses in the United States, Cal State Long Beach students represent a balanced mixture of various and numerous ethnic groups. On a regular basis, the university receives more admission applications than all but a few other campuses in the entire nation. Annual applications now top 90,000. Cal State Long Beach ranks among the best colleges and universities in the nation. Publications including U.S. News and World Report, Kiplinger's, and Princeton Review consistently list the campus with the best in the West and as one of the best values in higher education. Additionally, the university is rated by Security Magazine as one of the safest and most secure campuses in America. As a vital link to the Pacific Rim World Trade Arena, the combined ports of LA and Long Beach comprise the busiest commercial harbor in the United States. Trade and transportation activities engage scholars from the colleges of Business Administration, Engineering, and Liberal Arts. The Center for International Trade and Transportation within the College of Continuing and Professional Education links industry professionals with the university for cutting-edge research and educational programs. Airborne transportation above Long Beach in 1920 inspired Amelia Earhart to become a pilot and to pursue a record-breaking career in aviation. Billionaire businessman Howard Hughes famously flew the iconic Spruce Goose across the Long Beach Harbor in 1947. Today, Cal State Long Beach mechanical and aerospace engineering students design, build, and test prototype rockets capable of carrying small commercial payloads into Earth's orbit. Visionary aviation companies like Virgin Galactic continue to choose Long Beach for their design and manufacturing operations. The College of Engineering has strong connections with local employers and industry partners such as Boeing. Ranked number 4 in return on investment and graduates' earning power by Payscale.com, the college offers a wide array of degree options including a new biomedical engineering major. With abundant tutoring and scholarships, students benefit from an emphasis on practical applications and project-based learning that makes them highly recruited by industry. Along the Pacific Coast, aquatic research activities involve both the Geological Sciences Department and the Marine Biology program. Maintaining vigilance over coastal ecosystems, academic researchers and science students utilize underwater drones to monitor ocean temperatures and migration habitats of marine wildlife. Helping people live happier, healthier, and safer lives is the primary focus of the College of Health and Human Services. With 11 distinct departments and schools, more than 9,500 undergraduate and graduate students in this college are preparing for the clinical health professions, as well as for multiple sectors in business and government involving health, social services, and public safety. The College of Liberal Arts, the largest college at Cal State Long Beach, offers one of the most diverse general education curriculums in the area. Among many other disciplines it offers, the programs in journalism and media, communication studies, psychology, sociology, economics, languages, and geographic information systems are some of the most sought-after programs. Ethnic studies and international studies also are housed in liberal arts, which additionally collaborates with the College of Education in teaching credential programs for history, social science, and English education. Future teachers, counselors, and academic administrators learn how to best serve the growing population of California through the College of Education. The college prepares educators in close partnership with local school districts and community agencies. Cal State Long Beach is among the institutions that generate the largest percentage of teachers in the state. The prestigious College of Business Administration is accredited by the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business International. The college also has been identified as a best business school by the Princeton Review, along with receiving a ranking among the best MBA programs from CEO magazine. In the early days of Hollywood and silent film, Long Beach was home to one of the largest movie studios in Southern California. Today, Cal State Long Beach's College of the Arts is recognized as one of the largest and most comprehensive in America. The choral and vocal jazz programs are considered among the best in the nation, and top honors are regularly earned by students in dance, music, and design. Theater alumnus Linda Wolverton is best known as the writer behind Disney's Maleficent, Beauty and the Beast, and Lion King. Art alumnus Jennifer Yu Nelson is the director of Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3, and movie luminary and legend Steven Spielberg is among CSULB's most famous alumni. Intercollegiate athletics at Cal State Long Beach features 17 NCAA varsity sports competing at the highest level. The spectacular Walter Pyramid is the setting for the high-profile sports of volleyball and basketball. Baseball and softball teams often compete among the best and have produced numerous star players going on to the professional ranks. Student life in general is highlighted by a thriving student government, more than 325 social clubs and organizations, and easy access to local cultural activities. With sunny weather almost all year, Long Beach is an ideal place to live and learn, and was voted as one of America's top 10 most walkable cities. Life is good at California State University Long Beach, a campus rich in diversity, invigorated by cutting-edge quality academic programs, enhanced by location and geography, and imbued with a dynamic and powerful local history.